Ladies and gentlemen, bringing you a match of StarCraft 2, a Terran vs. Terran on Backwater LE. I'm Project StarCraft. Let's introduce our player spawning in the bottom right in the red trunks. We've got Sneakypete playing for Team Raytheon Corgi Squad. In the top left-hand corner playing for Team Capital One StarCraft 2 in the blue trunks, we have TrevLar. So Backwater LE, interesting map, just like a lot of the other details within the StarCraft 2 map list currently. We've got a big base that leads down to a natural expansion. You got a third that's very, very difficult to defend, a lot of wide spaces, so walling in is very, very important. And there are two Xel'Naga watchtowers with give vision, which are very important to control. TrevLar is going to be going for a little bit of a more standard approach. It looks like he's going to have his barracks significantly ahead of Sneakypete right now. Sneakypete walking, both players just doing some scouting early on, trying to do things a little bit early. But while we're getting this set up, so this week it was Capital One versus Raytheon in the StarCraft 2 After Hours Gaming League. Check out details at AHGL.tv for more action there. Looks like Sneakypete is going to be doing something. Okay, he's just kind of hiding a... What? Okay, so we're having an interesting development. I'm going to put a base inside your base. So what Sneakypete is trying to do is just simply build barracks inside of his opponent's base so that he can have units immediately rally out. Now, the key thing right here, see, like TrevLar doesn't know this is happening. He doesn't see it over here, right? So we want to have this go as long as physically possible before you know that it's happening. So we see a tech lab opening up pretty early. That's actually a little bit different in most matchups. Usually you don't get a tech lab early unless you're rushing out some sort of upgrade, but an engineering bait coming out from Sneakypete as well. It's a little bit different, a little bit unorthodox. So TrevLar has a spider senses tingling. He knows something's a little bit wonky, but it looks like he's going to be getting a cyclone early on to, to lock on and do some pretty significant stuff right there. Calling down a supply depot. Man, you got to work on those probes and pylons, man. All right, first Marine. About 25% of the way done. This SCV's able to come around. Oh, a bunker's being built. He doesn't know it's here. We see a second factory going down. So it looks like TrevLar is going to be looking to just do mech, do a cyclone rush, and possibly end it pretty quickly. We see a third barracks, but TrevLar only knows it's a potential second barracks going on at the same time, +1 happening on infantry weapons as well. So oh my goodness, it's so precarious. They don't see each other. They don't know anyone's there yet. So we see an expansion about to complete for TrevLar as well. TrevLar just thinks that things are kind of hunky-dory. He doesn't know that anything's going on. The first cyclone is going out on the map, able to get an additional kill right there. Oh, we see two Marines. Two Marines. Do we see a third one? Now, from an army supply, is going to favor TrevLar a little bit. Also, the fact that there might be a Marine at home, so just the fact that this Cyclone's going to just walk up and completely destroy this Marine right here. Cyclones are just super amazing. Shooting down that SCV right there to focus on the Marine. This single Cyclone is just going to do whatever it wants to. An upgrade was able to complete. I didn't quite catch what it was. I think it was combat shows with 4 Marines walking the mineral line of TrevLar right there. Able to get several different kills right there. Still just sieging right there. A Cyclone going home. A Marauder's actually able to chase them away. See 6 workers going down. A big evacuation happening. Going down to the actual natural expansion. Another Cyclone's going to just shoot them away. Is there able to get the Marines inside the bunker right there? He is, but that one is able to be taken out. TrevLar finally knows the shenanigans. He knows that something's up. 2 Cyclones are about to pop out. We see a third one about to do that. We see that bunker going to get destroyed, and it's just bunker time right here. But that bunker, it's going to give the Marines that are there significantly more health than usual. Going to the units tab, like TrevLar and our opponent Sneakypete are actually in pretty decent or pretty similar unit counts right here. See additional Cyclones reinforcing. That Marine is out there. They're focusing on the bunker right there, and it completely just shuts it down. The proxy from Sneakypete has been caught. He's not so sneaky anymore. Tech Lab going down for TrevLar. Back home at Sneakypete's base. We see similar worker counts, but just two barracks is kind of what's making things crazy. Going back to the units lost tab. It's still anyone's game, but this expansion is so late. There's not going to be anything that Sneakypete's going to be able to do to hold off these Cyclones that are going to be pushing, and he's going to need some Marauders to even have a chance at firing back. The lock-on and the Tornado Blaster, they shoot so fast, especially against armored units. Marauders can do a little bit of bonus damage against armored units. That's the only thing really slowing it down. I don't think that Sneakypete has a chance to be able to hold this. Has a turret in queue as well. TrevLar's like, okay, there's no base here. All right, let's see what happens. Gonna walk up right at that ramp and focus down some supply depots, and just gonna go ahead and back away. Lots of damage on the Cyclones right there. That's one pretty key thing that's going for Sneakypete. However, TrevLar is getting a third base. Gonna fly out that barracks. Hey, I'm just gonna do some tech here. Looks like getting some Vikings and some siege tanks. I really don't know if there's a way for Sneakypete to get back in this. Now, one edge that he does have is +1 attack, so his infantry weapons are going to do a little bit more damage than usual to TrevLar's army. However, it's still just a wonky game in general. Going back over to TrevLar's base, we see an additional, actually my mistake, we see just a third command center, more tanks being built. We see a starport finally being built for Sneakypete, trying to get up to that Destiny Cloud Fist type of style, but not a lot of production structures available for Sneakypete right here. Going to the army size tab. Again, very similar, but TrevLar is going to be slightly above the tech ladder in terms of what might be available for a researcher or for just necessarily just researches that have been upgraded. Third base is just starting now to get online for Sneakypete. He isn't even bothering to put this to an orbital command, just kind of doing it right there. TrevLar sieging from the low ground. Gonna put a wall on this base. His Viking's gonna provide a little bit of vision right here. Very careful about that. The army decides to go down now. Cyclones engaging. Siege Chain's getting 3 shots right there. One Siege Chain goes down. The other Siege Chain gets focused. TrevLar gonna get pushed back, actually. A lot of these Cyclones are very, very weak right here. If a stim was available, they might be able to chase it and mop this up, but it looks like TrevLar's gonna get taken back right here. Sneakypete needs to take this opportunity to macro up super hard behind this, get a third base, do what he needs to do. TrevLar, we actually see a transition to Banshees coming from Sneakypete right here, but not getting any kind of research with that. So big transfer of workers from the other base, and it looks like those infantry units from Sneakypete are still just going to push across the map. Siege tanks about to fire. 3 shots before they actually able to get in. All the Sneakypete's army is about to get obliterated. These 4 infantry units are just about it. That may have been a mistake right there, due to the fact that TrevLar was able to bring his Cyclones home, get a mass repair done for all these SCVs, and you know what? It's going to be ready for a new attack right here. Going to the unit counting station, we see 45 SCVs to Sneakypete's 24. Army size tab is still favoring TrevLar as well. Seriously, it's just a matter of time before TrevLar is able to just walk in there and just steamroll everything. We see some turtling happening from Sneakypete. We see some scans going on in the base just to kind of see some things. And it's going to be very, very challenging for Sneakypete to just be able to get back in this. Now, getting 1-1 infantry upgrades is pretty good. It makes the infantry units a little bit more resilient. However, we see another, it looks like we see another move out happening from right here. We see a Banshee. It looks like they're going to flank in on the left-hand side and attack the base that's down over here. But this Banshee is idling right here. TrevLar positioning out in the middle of the map. Doesn't quite know that this infantry army is moving in over here. This infantry army from Sneakypete sneaking up to the North Zelnaga watchtower right there. If he was able to catch the mech army out of position, may have been able to do a little bit more damage. But speaking of damage, this Banshee's able to get 4 kills, maybe 5 kills, 6 kills. Gonna be lining up right there. Maybe a 7th kill as well. Looks like these Cyclones are coming back home to be able to deal with it. The infantry moving in. What looks to be the third base, this Sneakypete Banshee gets 10 kills in total, starting to get locked down. from the ability right here. Sneaky Pete focusing on the third base right here, not even stimming. We have some armies that are doing it. Viking gets taken out. The mech army is completely retreating, able to just move in just a little bit more, get a little bit. That orbital command gets lifted off. It actually may survive. Siege tanks are actually sieging up towards the south side of the base. That orbital command's not going down. The SCVs are being able to take that out. The Marines are just shooting it, and that's all they're doing. That orbital command is about, will it go down? 20 HP. Emergency mules actually being calling in to save it. It gets down to maybe single digit HP. However, the SCVs that are there and the mules that are there are able to salvage it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. From a unit counting station, right? Units lost. Wow. 27 SCVs for TrevLar. Lots of economic damage done right there. We see from a worker counting station, we see TrevLar, even with losing that many SCVs, is still in the lead. So Sneaky Pete actually is doing pretty significant damage and causing TrevLar to be out of position. However, it's just not enough. He's not able to capitalize it still on 27 SCVs at an 11-minute mark. I mean, 39 SCVs for losing nearly 30, that kind of makes sense. We see vehicle and armor plating level 1 going for this mech army right here. Nearly double the supply, actually just a slightly under doubles the supply. TrevLar just walking all these Cyclones, Vikings, and Siege tanks across the map. The third base finally gets taken only with one orbital command. I don't think in any capacity Sneaky Pete is able to salvage this. He had a very good chance earlier on. We see some Siege tanks going on. We see a small army just kind of walking up. The army commander's like, you know what, you're going to focus and you're going to try to do what you can to stop this. The Siege tanks are just leapfrogging over each other. An attack coming in. There's not much at home. A couple Marines, a Siege tank, and a Marauder. And we see TrevLar just sieging up right in front of the second natural base of Sneaky Pete. And after maybe 3 volleys of that Siege tank fire, the base goes down. We see this, both Banshees are coming in. It looks like they're trying to siege on the Siege tanks that are down there. Not a quick response from TrevLar yet, but it's only going to be a matter of time before they're spotted with a scan, and the energy goes out. Those Vikings just take it down so easy. Siege tank sieging on the ramp of Sneaky Pete. SCVs trying to do some long-distance mining. This is the beginning of the end. So Sneaky Pete trying to just cloak in, trying to see if it can be anything else, just focusing on the siege tank. It's not really doing anything. Siege tanks are coming up, sieging on the actual ground of Sneaky Pete's base. It's not going to be much longer before Sneaky Pete needs to tap out. We see a lot of reinforced units happening in the middle of the map. It's almost over. APM going very, very low, just surviving as much as he can. All these buildings are just getting shelled over and over and over again. This Marine just gets blown to smithereens. Siege tank sieging right on the base. It doesn't even matter. Sneaky Pete looks like his entire base is going to get destroyed. Actually, no. Sneaky Pete has a desperation move. He's going to build some additional factories inside the third that TrevLar may not know about. There's no vision on this section of the map right here, but all of the tech is being destroyed. And the army and from the SCV camp, TrevLar is still in the lead. It just takes a matter of time before TrevLar gets there and decides to just move up in siege and over there. So I think Sneaky Pete definitely had an opportunity to maybe go away with this game. I think focusing that, like, either stimming, which I don't know if it was available, but stimming or just focus firing the base maybe with a little bit more positioning may have been able to get him into a position where he was able to take that. However, it just wasn't quite enough. So usually it just comes down to the fact that whoever has these SCVs coming off the line, they try to see if they can get us around with a siege tank, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. Vikings are actually landing. Going to go into tank mode right there, and Sneaky Pete finally taps out with a good game. So TrevLar taking the series 1-0 against Raytheon. Capital One taking a 1-0 lead. And that's about it. So good game to TrevLar, good game to Sneaky Pete. Thank you for checking out the cast, and we'll see you guys for the next game.